Coming up, the wildfire season is upon us as the tunnel fire burns northeast of Flagstaff. Plus, local reaction to the end of the mask mandate on public transportation. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Tori Smith.
And I'm Liam Combs. Thanks for tuning in. A fire burning 14 miles northeast of Flagstaff has forced evacuations of some areas. The 2,000-acre tunnel fire is burning north of Highway 89. NAZ Today's Kiana Orozco has just returned from the fire scene. She joined us live in the studio with more.
The tunnel fire has wreaked havoc on communities north of Flagstaff, forcing some people to leave their homes.
Search and rescue teams today headed door to door to make sure all residents were aware of the evacuation notice. For those affected, there are places you can go.
We do have shelters set up, or a shelter has been set up at the Sanawa Middle School in Flagstaff for residents and people that have been evacuated from their homes. And then we have large and small animal shelters at the Coconino Humane Society and the Fort Tuthill area.
Coconino County Sheriff's Public Information Officer, John Paxton, says it is critical to be prepared with 2 days of supplies in case of an evacuation.
There's a lot of essentials, but primarily you want to have medications if you need medications, some food and water. If you're going to a shelter, you want to ensure that make sure you bring pillow and blankets along with you. We can't guarantee that they'll always have that there.
Paxton says it is important to keep yourself updated on what is happening with the fire, especially if you are in the surrounding areas.
Right now, we are still in an evacuation in a go mode. Other areas are being put into set. They need to monitor their channels, their TV and their radios to listen for the most current updates. Watch our Facebook, but the most current is emergency notifications. They will let you know that we have multiple areas that are put in the set stage right now. That is just before it goes to go.
So far, there are no reports of injuries. The fire started burning on Sunday, and the cause is still under investigation. Today alone, high winds help expand the tunnel fire from 600 acres to 2,000. Kiana Roscoe, NAZ Today.
Forest Service Representative Randy Schaefer says the safety of residents and firefighters is the #1 priority at this point. To stay updated on the tunnel fire, go to ncweb.nwcg.com.
Remember the accident that happened last week in Chipotle? Well, they're back open and ready for business. Actually, the restaurant opened 2 days after the incident, but some of the walls and dine-in seating is still under construction. For the time being, you can only enjoy a burrito on the go.
A federal court case Monday ruled in favor of lifting the mask mandate for public transportation on air travel, buses, and trains. We went to the Flagstaff Pulliam Airport earlier today to see how travelers feel about the change. The mask mandate was lifted nationwide for all air travel. We're here at the Flagstaff Airport where a few travelers have their point of view on the mask mandate being lifted.
Well, I think that if most of the population is vaccinated, then, the herd immunity should be in full effect, and I think it's just a matter of, people's choice right now, whether you want to continue to wear your mask or not.
We reached out to Flagstaff Pulliam Airport, and they said they will keep following CDC guidelines and let passengers do as they please in regards to masks.
It seems like if the only place that's having masks are on planes, then it's pointless to just have one segment have mask and nobody else doing it.
But at the end of the day, it is now up to the people individually to decide if they will keep wearing masks in a public setting. Do you personally wear your mask in the airport?
I do, because I'm used to it, because I'm a registered nurse, and it's always better to be safe than sorry.
I wore it on the way out, and I am not going to wear it on the way back.
Society appears to be slowly returning back to pre-COVID lifestyles. For more information on COVID-19 updates, visit the CDC website.
Arizona lawmakers are known for disagreeing when it comes to the state budget, and even in a year when the state is flush with cash, they still can't agree on a spending plan. Despite a multi-billion-dollar surplus, some lawmakers are talking about keeping spending levels the same as this year. a so-called continuation budget. One lawmaker wants to spend $850 million to boost funding for K-12 education. As the disagreement continues, the legislature, remains on the job as its traditional 100-day deadline approaches. In other news tonight, the Arizona Supreme Court has ruled that victims of sex abuse can proceed with lawsuits even though the statute of limitations has expired. This means that victims could sue organizations such as the Boy Scouts of America and the Catholic Church for crimes that occurred long ago. Attorneys representing accused organizations say the ruling is unconstitutional because it denies due process.
Northern Arizona University joined schools across the country that are holding events for the Clothesline Project to call attention to often forgotten crimes of sexual violence. The clothes are marked with messages from victims of sexual assault. Research shows that sexual assault is the second most common crime on college campuses. The Clothesline Project sends the message that sexual violence should never be ignored. We spoke with one victim who asked us not to use her name. She says the clothesline is a powerful symbol.
I think it's really inspiring that people are bringing awareness to it, because I feel like up until recently it was kind of just something people brushed under the rug, and seeing all the clothes together with all the messages written on them, it's unifying, you're not alone.
If you or someone you know needs to talk to somebody, the Sexual Assault Hotline is available 24/7 at 1-800-656-4673.
A plea deal in the death of a Navajo Nation man, 29-year-old Casey Joe. 30-year-old Andreas McCabe was accused of strangling the victim in a Flagstaff motel back in 2020. He then covered the body with hundreds of rocks. McCabe agreed to plead guilty in exchange for a 15-year prison sentence.
The number of migrants attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border is at its highest level in 2 decades, and the numbers are likely to keep rising. In March, immigration authorities saw a 33% increase from the month before. Critics are blaming the Biden administration, saying the president is weak on border security. Each week, we've been spotlighting animals from the Coconino Humane Association to help them get adopted.
That's right. With this being the last Tuesday of this semester, NAZ Today's Michaela Richardson takes a look back, updating us on where our previous Pets of the Week are today.
Thanks, Liam. This semester, I'm happy to announce 5 of our 8 pets have been adopted, but the final 3 are still looking for their forever homes.
Our friends Kilo, Sunny, Mona, Zelda, and Amber all got adopted and went home to their new home.
Unfortunately, though, some have not been as lucky.
Our friends Murphy, Marley, and Deputy haven't quite got adopted yet, so my friend Murphy is still here. Big old doggy, loves people, doesn't really care for smaller animals, loves to be around kids, loves to be around people. My friend Deputy, another big dog, he's a very nice doggy, very high energy. Our friend Marley, little small dog, she loves to be around people. She's a little bit iffy with some animals, so you want to make sure you test her out with other animals.
Adopting these animals is relatively easy.
Come in here, find the animal that you want, pick them out, come up front here, do a bunch of paperwork, pay for the animals. Animals come with all of their shots, so we get them here. A rabies shot, microchip, health check by the vet, and their spay, neuter, and 30 days of insurance, all included in the price on the animals.
If adopting isn't an option for you, volunteers are more than welcome to help the caretakers.
We have volunteer orientations on Thursday afternoons at 3 p.m., Saturday mornings at 11:15. Come in, there's a whole bunch of paperwork to sign. Have to listen to me talk about different animals and stuff. Then come in, do whatever you feel comfortable doing. There's a $20 charge for t-shirts and name badges. Then you can come in, work with our dogs, work with our cats, work with our horses, whatever you feel comfortable doing.
There are many opportunities to help the Coconino Humane Association by helping unwanted, abandoned, and mistreated animals. For more information, visit the Coconino Humane Association or go online to coconinohumane.org. Michaela Richardson, NAZ Today.
Coming up, tax refunds may be lower than expected as experts warn against impulse spending. Also, a new study finds that music increases speed and accuracy during surgeries. Stay with us.
I have an update on that tunnel fire since our reporter Kiana touched base a few hours ago. As of right now, since Sunday, it has burned 6,000 acres, and those gusts are going about 40 to 50 miles per hour this afternoon and throughout the night. So it will continue as we go through the night. There's also low relative humidity below 15%, so it's not going to ease that control, and it will be pushing east, potentially affecting that Hopi and Tuba City region. Now, I will have more after the break on how this is going to be affecting our northern Arizona weather.
Does your family need a break from the daily routine?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org and trade in the big screen for the big blue sky by visiting a local park or forest near you.
Hiking, picnicking, swimming, orienteering, climbing, admiring wildlife, or inhaling fresh air may result in heightened creativity, feelings of joy, harmony, satisfaction, and a euphoria that can only be explained as oneness with the natural world. Whoa.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back. Monday was tax day, and this year the IRS has even more bad news. Some Americans may get smaller refunds than they expected, and those checks or direct deposits could be delayed. CNN's Jen Sullivan has more.
If you're expecting a tax refund this year, your payment could be smaller and come later than usual. The IRS says it's dealing with major processing lags, so if you filed your tax return electronically, it may take the IRS longer than the usual 21 days to issue a refund. For some families, that refund is their biggest cash infusion of the year. So, should you save it or spend it? Financial expert Ted Jenkin has these 3 money moves to help maximize your finances. Number 1, with rising interest rates, experts recommend you use that refund to pay off debt.
I mean, not all debt. You know, there's a lot of things now like auto loans and in some cases mortgages that people locked in at 1 or 2 or 3%. So I wouldn't use that money to pay that off. But if you have high interest credit card debt, absolutely.
According to IRS data, the average tax refund issued so far this tax season is $3,175. Because many Americans already got half of their child tax credit funds in monthly installments during the second half of last year, they'll likely get smaller refunds this year. Which brings us to money move number 2, build an emergency reserve. You'll want to set aside an amount that covers you for at least 3 months, preferably 6 months.
We often think, I'm not going to lose my job, my car won't break down, I won't have a water heater blow up in my house, but these things happen.
And number 3, set aside some cash for fun, whether it's a staycation or going out to a nice restaurant, concert, or sporting event.
So splurge a little if you have some extra money.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
A new medical study says rocking out in the operating room actually improves surgical performance. And an expert with his own operating room playlist says he believes it. CNN's Jeremy Roth reports.
You might assume a quiet environment could be crucial for the steady hands of a surgeon. But a newly published study says not only can listening to music enhance a surgeon's performance, loud rock music had the most beneficial impact. How loud? AC/DC loud. The study, conducted by researchers at Germany's Heidelberg University, tested novice surgeons performing laparoscopic procedures by blasting AC/DC hits like TNT and Highway to Hell. And results showed the hard rock significantly improved both the accuracy and speed of tasks performed, particularly when played at a high volume.
I believe it.
Dr. Timothy Pollock, surgical oncologist at The Ohio State University, says he listens to all kinds of music in the operating room.
Everything from country to pop to hard rock to Christian. I think there is a very therapeutic nature to music. For not only the caregivers, the patients. When you're listening to music, you're almost kind of in a zone.
So then, is Pollock a hard rock kind of doc?
At the appropriate volume. I want to make sure that people don't have the impression that they're at a rock concert. But yeah, I play some hard rock in the operating room all the time.
So if you are scheduled for a procedure soon, you could consider urging your surgeon to bone up on rocking out. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him. Oh.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to NAZ Today, everybody. My name is Hannah Ware, and I'll be your student weather forecaster. Now, here is a little update on that haze that we are seeing. It's pretty intense. Our temperature is at 63 degrees and, of course, pretty windy outside. An update on that relative humidity. It is below 15 at 8%, and those strong winds are pushing about 23 miles per hour in that southwest region, which we will actually see in our current satellite. We see a lot of coverage pushing up into this region, and that's going to affect that wildfire. It's going to be pushing into that Hopi, Tuba City, and Winslow region later through the night. Looking at our highs and lows, our high is 52 degrees with a low of 21. Pretty on par with our averages. And I said these past couple weeks that we haven't really been seeing any precipitation, and there's almost a 4-inch difference between what our precipitation is now and what is supposed to be on average. And of course, we can see that affecting us right now. Pretty unfortunate, but hopefully that'll get some containment throughout these next couple days. Now, all of these red flags that we're seeing, that is being affected by that haze and those winds that we're seeing as of today. Phoenix, you're almost at 100 degrees with a high of 97. Hopi and Winslow and Page, you guys are between the mid 70s to mid 80s, and Las Vegas, a high of 87 degrees. Now, when we look into tonight's temperatures, we do have a low of 38, and it says that it's going to be mostly clear, but we could get a haze as we have more updates. A sunset past 7 p.m. And tomorrow morning, we will see a high of 68 degrees, sunny, and still pretty breezy for us here in northern Arizona. As we head into our highs and lows for tomorrow, Phoenix, I said you were going to drop back down. You're going to be at 89 degrees with the low of 64. Winslow, Tuba City, Page, beautiful 80 degrees, but it's going to be quite hazy. And Kingman, 77 degrees. Now, when we look into our Flagstaff extended weather, Wednesday, 68 degrees, and we will slowly climb down on Friday when we will see 20% chance of rain and snowfall. And then Saturday and Sunday, we will slowly inch back up to those warmer temperatures as our low pressure system moves out. Now, that is all I have for weather, but stay tuned after the break.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look. You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. My name is Lindsay Ridgway, and I'll be your sports reporter for the night. NAU women's basketball head coach Lori Payne has recently signed a 5-year contract extension. I had the opportunity to interview Coach Payne on her hopes for next year's team and aspirations of a second trip to the NCAA tournament. Take a look. After being hired in April of 2017 as the 12th head coach of NAU women's basketball, Coach Lori Payne has not only recently brought the team all the way to the Big Sky Championship, but also has just been re-signed to a 5-year contract extension.
It's exciting. You know, I came here 5 years ago into Flagstaff to turn a program around into a championship contender. And for us to be able to do that in the 5-year span that I was here and then have an opportunity to continue to improve on that is something that I'm very excited about.
Under Coach Payne, the women's team won their first conference championship in 12 years in the 2017-2018 season. The team then made their way to the quarterfinals in the 2021 season, but Coach Payne said what made all the difference this time around were her veterans.
Kind of went through everything these last couple years with COVID, but having a team of a lot of upperclassmen and a lot of seniors who had been in the program for many years, I think that definitely helped propel us into that next level that this program could attain.
Having 5 seniors on her team graduating and 6 incoming freshmen, as well as Idaho State transfer Montana Atrogi joining in the fall, Coach Payne says she is nothing but hopeful for the upcoming season.
And we're just really excited about kind of almost a new team with new energy, and I think it's going to be something that is definitely very positive.
With this past season under her belt, Payne said the team has one goal in mind.
We want to contend for the Big Sky Championship, and we want to play in the NCAA tournament, and that goal has not changed from day one.
Lindsay Ridgway, NAZ Today. Coach Payne says that what has her players, though, so excited for the upcoming season is their new practice facilities located in the new High Performance Training Center. The nearly $47 million, 77,000 square foot facility is the new home of all NAU student athletes. The center has been open for about a month to athletes, but the grand opening is officially Friday. NAU women's tennis clinched the Co-Big Sky Championship title this past Saturday, beating Portland State 5-2 and closing out yet another perfect home season. Flagstaff and Coconino baseball are going pro tonight. Well, kind of. The Rivals are heading down to the Valley for their rivalry game at Chase Field, home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. First pitch was thrown out at 3:30, and the Coconino Panthers took the win 4-3. You can listen to the archived broadcast at kjackradio.org, and the teams are scheduled to rematch Thursday at Flagstaff High School. Well, that's all I have for you tonight for sports, but stick around after the break for your weather recap with Hannah Ware.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I
was.
heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
I just found out my work party is a +1. You want to go? This is my boss, Ella.
Nice to meet you, Greg. You're welcome. Nope, I'm high. But I'll clean the kitchen while you're gone.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
Pool party at Jesse's. Can you drive? I'm toasted.
Nope, I'm high. But I can order us a ride.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's recap that rest of our week as well as weekend 4 weather. Wednesday, 68 degrees, most likely going to be hazy these next couple days, but Friday we will see some precipitation as a low pressure system moves in on Thursday night with a high of 52 and that chance of snowfall or even rainfall. Saturday and Sunday we will be a little warmer and slightly breezier with some clear skies. Now I know we've got quite the crew on desk. What's going on, Tori?
Thanks, Hannah. Today is actually our last Tuesday show of the semester, and we have some graduating seniors with us tonight.
That's right, Tori. A sad goodbye. Joining us tonight is Adam, Zoe, and Adam. And guys, what are your plans for after college?
Well, I plan on going back home to Dallas to work.
I'm planning on doing a van conversion and hopefully photography on the road.
Nice.
I'm planning on going back to San Diego and spending some time with my family.
Great.
Well, we look forward to seeing where all of you go. That is all we have for today, but definitely check us out on social medias, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And tune in tomorrow for another live newscast. Have a good night.